It's not every day that you get asked by Emily Wright to talk about the one thing that you're probably most passionate about of anything else in your life, other than your wife and your family. Okay? And that's, for me, it's the strength of this industry. Now that's Emily Wright's title, that's not mine. I call this presentation the 4-year retirement plan. Because that's exactly what it is. Okay? Now, I'm taking 2 risks today. The first one is, how many of you have been here for more than a year, 2 years? How many, 3 years, 4 years? Okay? I've been here 4.5 years, and to this day, I've never seen anybody come up and have them wheel a whiteboard out before they walk up. So it's a little bit of a risk. But you guys, I'm doing it for a reason. There's a purpose behind it. Because what I want you to do is I hesitate to say this because I just got called out on it. Somebody right before I came up showed me a Facebook post, and it's from Lindsay Lane. I don't even know who she is. Does anybody know her? Melina knows her. Lindsay Lane called me out on Facebook. She's talking to her friends. She said, David's going to speak. You need to listen. And then she says, he's going to tell you to put your phones away. Don't do it. Just record it and send it to me. So I'm not going to tell you to put your phones away, but what I want you to do, you guys, is at the end, it's going to show everything that I put here. And at that point, you can take a picture. Because I really need you to dial in. And I will tell you, if you will dial into this, if you will internalize what I'm about to show you, there will not be enough vetiver and Haiti to keep you awake tonight. Because you guys, what I'm about to show you is going to change your life if you'll do it. And if you'll apply it. Now, I'm going to tell you this one thing. You're going to see it, and it's going to be really cool. If you don't go teach it to somebody tonight, you will forget it. And so my other admonition is you take it, you look at it, you take a picture, and you go teach it to somebody tonight. And you'll internalize it. And if you internalize it, it will change your life. What it really represents, you guys, is here in doTERRA. How many of you have ever talked to somebody and you said, you know what? I want to be able to share with them the passion that I have. I want to share the opportunity that I have. I want them to get excited about what I've got. And I've only got 5 minutes. Have you ever been in that situation and thought, man, I just wish I had something that I could just grab them in 5 minutes? You guys, you'll have that today. This is what it is. It can be a 5-minute presentation. It can be an hour and a half. They happen to give me 30 minutes and it's already taking, so I'm going to get right started. Okay, you guys, I need you to understand one other thing too. I want everybody to stand up. Everybody stand up. Now, I want you to grab your phone, so when I don't get called out by Lindsay, I want you to grab your phone and I want you to grab your notebook and I want you to move. I want you to change seats. I don't care where you go, just change seats. It might be one over. There's some really cool seats right up in here for those that are brave enough to come do it. But I want you to change seats. Everybody move. Everybody change.
Sure. I'm going to the Blue Diamond section.
I want to sit in a Blue Diamond seat.
Just gonna sit over here.
3,
There you go, right there.
2, 1. All right, sit down. Wherever you're at. Here's the chair. Now, if any of you took a seat that somebody really wants after my presentation, there's no claims. But right now, I want you close, and I want you to dial into this. Because you guys, for things to change, I must change.
Yes.
For things to improve, I must improve.
Yes.
For my business to grow, I must grow. And I want you to repeat that after me. You guys ready? For things to change,
I must change.
for things to improve,
I must improve.
for my business to grow.
I must grow.
Okay, you just changed. You're looking at this presentation from a different perspective than you just did 5 minutes ago.
That didn't work out for me.
And what I'm about to show you, you have to change your perspective. We live in a certain side of this quadrant I'm going to show you. You have to change your perspective. So let's get started. You guys, we get paid in America in 4 ways. Now this isn't me. Really, anything you see here is probably not going to come from me. I was a financial advisor for 10 years, so I better give you a little background. I think in terms of numbers. Okay? It was about 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, my wife was introduced to the oils. And of course, like every good husband, I told her, you know, it's fine, you do your thing, just don't cost us any money. And what happens, you guys, similar to Tony, what happens is I was in business. I was in real business. I was a financial advisor when the company that I was with failed. Because, let me go back a little bit, when I was 7 years old. You guys, when I was 7 years old, I sat in a car, in a truck. I lived on a cattle ranch. My dad managed a ranch, a big ranch. He made $1,000 a month, a half a beef a year, and they provided his housing. I grew up thinking that if I could make $2,000 a month, I would be rolling. That was the perspective I came from. So we went down on this particular ranch that he managed. There was an extra house. And he walked in there and he said, every month we'd walk down and he would walk into this house and he'd walk out. He'd walk out with a roll of cash. Real cash. And it was the first lesson to what I refer to as the absolute power of our industry, which is what? Residual income. It's residual income. Every month, he would go in, he would grab that money and would bring home. And I swore at that moment that whatever I did in my life, it would be involved with residual income. That's why I'm so passionate about it, you guys. Since I was 7 years old, I've dreamed of residual income. That's why I got into financial planning. Because I was told to create a residual income. You guys, guess what? They lied. Now, they didn't lie, but they told me it was going to happen sooner. I worked there for 10 years, and I saw guys that were there for 20, and they were starting to build up just enough. But the problem is they had so much risk. You guys, when people hand you their money, do you realize they think that you actually manage it? Do you guys know your manager, he doesn't have anything to do with your money. He sends it off, and it's controlled by a fund manager. I had no control. So I got into real estate. I started investing in real estate because I could take people's money, and I actually knew where it went. And I felt good about it. And I started to create a residual income. And then my wife found doTERRA. They flip back one slide. Because I want you guys to recognize, I give credit where credit is due. I am standing here. Can you flip back one slide? Okay. If they get it, it's fine. If not, it's a picture of my beautiful wife. Because you guys, I'm here, and our family's where they're at because she chose in. She chose in. And she started to have classes. People came over to the house. And she talked with them about oils. And she talked with them about improving their health. And then they'd buy stuff. And then they'd go and they'd leave. And then the next month would come. And guess what they did? They'd buy stuff. And I'm sitting over here running my business. And I'm dealing with plugged toilets, and I'm dealing with renters that don't pay, and I'm dealing with all this stuff, and I'm dealing with investor money that's a lot of weight because they're trusting me. And she's selling oils, and they're buying stuff, and I start seeing this volume start to grow. This volume gets big, and it gets bigger, and it gets bigger. And I'm looking at that, and I'm going, man. We talked about ego yesterday, right, on the men's piano? I saw my wife's little hobby that I made fun of, and I started to see this income start to increase, and I started seeing her income approaching my income. And what did I do? What every self-respecting man would do. I made it our income. And that day, I joined her in the business. I gave half of my business, 106 rental properties. I gave it to my brother. Gave half of it to my brother. He manages it to this day, and he does a dang better job than I do. And I take what? I take a residual income from that. And then I jumped in, I started working this business with my wife. And I realized one thing, you guys, in any business opportunity you ever see, whether it's traditional business or other, I went to school for business, and the one thing they taught was retention. Retention is the number one measurement of success or failure in any business. And we have the corner of the market on retention. Okay, so how does it work? You guys, we get paid in 4 ways. All right? I'm going to draw this out. I'm going to give credit. This is not my idea, but it's really cool. It comes from a book called Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. He says we get paid in 4 ways. The first way is as an employee. Do you guys realize employees are dream makers? Employees are dream makers. No argument? They are. They're just not their own dreams. As an employee, you're making dreams for someone. Now, that's not a discredit to any employees. We've all been there, right? This is a progression. It's all about progressing. And I'm so grateful for the employees of doTERRA. They make my life so much better. So this is not a bad thing, it's just recognize where we're at. What you do is you go out there and you spend an hour of your time for $1. An hour for $1. It's linear. It's a linear relationship. And it may be $10, maybe $20, but it's an hour for money. And that is going to persist for as long as you spend the hour. Right? The next way that we get paid is through self-employed. Right? Self-employed business. You ever heard that? I own my own business. You guys, I've been self-employed. I didn't own my own business. I owned my own job. Because as we learned from Brian Hess in the video yesterday, right? The moment the cows left, the income stopped. The moment you stop cracking backs, the income stops. The moment you stop massaging muscles, the income stops. The moment you stop laying bricks, the income stops. The moment you stop doing whatever it is you do as your job that you own, or really the job that owns you. Because as a self-employed owner, you guys, I understood this really well. I had all the freedom in the world. I got to choose which 20 hours of the day I worked. But I worked 20 hours a day. Okay? The next way that we get, this is also, you guys, 1-to-1. Okay? One job for $1. When the job's done, you spend the money, it's done, go find another job. It's linear. Okay? Next side, and this is the other side of quadrant, you guys, I made you move because you have got to move quadrants. To be truly successful in life, financially, you have got to move quadrants. You've got to get over here where you own your business. Now, the definition of a business is that you can actually walk away and that business continues to operate. We've got a McDonald's right down the street. It's fantastic food, right? But yet we still go. Have you ever seen a McDonald's go out of business? Do you guys realize the guy that owns that McDonald's, he's not there? What if you knew that? He's not there flipping burgers. Who's there? An 18-year-old pimple-faced kid that has manager written across his chest. And why does it say manager? Because he was there 2 weeks longer than the guy behind him. That's the difference. Because he set up a system, and that system works whether he's there doing it or not. The system works. He leverages the time, efforts, and resources of others for the benefit of who? Everyone. Those employees need a job, right? He happens to be benefited. It's just who's benefiting greater. You got to get on the right side of the quadrant. You guys, the last one? The last one is I. That's where we all want to be. That's when you make enough money that you can take your money and you can send it off into the world. And it multiplies. And it comes scurrying home with children. This is morbid, but the book, Richest Man Battle, then we eat the children. But you guys, that interest that comes back to you, that is residual income. That's residual income because you have a nest egg, you have an asset that you've created. The difference here, you guys, this is leveraged. This is leveraged income. This right here, this side of the quadrant, this is measured in effort. How much effort did I put in for the return that you're willing to pay me? Do you realize the relationship between an employee and a boss is how little can I pay you to keep you here? Not derogatory, because as an employee, you're like, I want to get better so that I can get paid more. But at some point, you may become too valuable. And what happens? We go off and hire somebody for half the price. And I've seen that happen in my own life. Many of you have as well. If you can get to this side of the quadrant, you guys, this is measured differently. It's measured by assets. The guy that owns the McDonald's, he was not calculating how much time he was spending when he was acquiring the land, when he was building the building, when he was getting the equipment in place, when he was hiring that 18-year-old kid. He wasn't counting the clock, because it didn't matter. He was building an asset. You guys, you cannot measure your success in doTERRA based off of effort. Okay? And let me show you why. How long does it take to do a class? Let's just say, for example, you have 2 hours to invite, 2 hours to do the class, 2 hours to follow up, to get everybody signed up. What is that? That's 6 hours. And let's just say you go out there and you enroll instead of diamond kits, because you're just getting started, you enroll 3 family physicians kits. And family physicians kits pays us $22.50, right? Am I right? Yeah. All right. Times 3. Okay? Because you just sold 3 of them. That's $67.50. Woo! Yeah! Is that awesome? Why aren't you excited? Oh, you're not excited because you just measured an effort. You spent 6 hours for that $67. And heck, that manager's getting more than that, right? And how long can you do that? Put differently, how long will your spouse allow you to do that? You guys, that's effort-based. Okay? I want you to keep that in your mind because this is what happens, you guys. I want to show you what this looks like in America. What it looks like, this is the great American dream. We are born. It's a requirement for all of you to be here. You were born. At some point, you will graduate. Some people, that's elementary school. Some people, that's high school. Some people, it's PhD, college, whatever it is, trade school. You graduate, and you do what? You go to work for 40 years. For 40 years, you go to work for somebody for the opportunity to possibly retire at 65. How many of you people know and associate closely with people that cannot wait to age? And yet they go and spend all their money on anti-aging products. We can't wait to get to 65 so that we get the grand privilege to do what? There ain't an oil in the world that's going to keep you from the last one. And that's compliant. You will die. And when you die, right? Let's look at this. What did you just do? You took 10 to maybe 15 years. What do we call those? Golden years. When you don't have any health and you spend all your money to get your health back. And you guys, what this looks like, let me show you. As a financial advisor, I did this all the time. I spent every day, I'd have people come in, and I'd teach this principle right here. What we do is we go out and we work. For 40 years we work, and we take and we carve a little bit each month, just a little bit each month. We put it into this bucket, and this bucket starts to grow, right? It starts to grow. We hope it does. It starts to grow, and you start building up an asset, right? You build up this asset, and you hope it gets up there, and you cross your fingers and your toes every time the president speaks, regardless of what president it is, right? Because the market's going to up and down based off of what people think. Do you guys realize that? The market switches up and down based off of what somebody might think. How much control do you have? Okay, but that's what we rely on. We go in there and we build up this asset, and then at age 65, we go over here and we turn on a little spigot. And I am not an artist. That is my disappointment. But this little spigot does what? We go to our financial planner, he sits down, we ask 3 questions. He says, how much money do you have? How much time do you have? And how much money do you need at retirement? He asked those 3 questions. And you guys, I asked those questions because I didn't want to be the bearer of bad news. I didn't even want to tell them the truth. Right? Because the truth is this. The truth is, they need for $4,500. Let's say they come to me and they say, I need $4,500 to live, right? It's kind of average. I ask them one question, do you want that every month? Some people say no, because they don't know what it means. Yes, you want it every month. $4,500 a month. That's every month. So you times it by 12. What does that equal? $54,000. Now, that's how much your money has to produce. So how much money do we have to have? Now, you guys, this is where you have got to follow me. And if you follow me, this is what will keep you awake at night. What we do is we go over here and we put our money, instead of having it in the market where it's gaining 40 and losing 50, your advisor is going to pull it over here and he's going to put it somewhere where it's more conservative. So we always target it about 5%. We're going to assume we're going to get a 5% return on your nest egg. So what we do to find out how big the nest egg had to be is I divide it by 5%. What does that equal? $1,080,000. You guys, in 10 years, how many people, when I ask those questions, how many people you think have the amount of money they needed in their account? None. Some were closer than others. But let me tell you the real statistics. And this, you guys, if you have husbands sitting at home that are doubting you, what is the question you ask them? You guys, right now, in America, average age of 50. So every person that's out there sitting in this room that's 50 years old, and in all the world, 50 years old, in all America, average retirement savings, $42,000. Now that includes those that do have quite a bit, right? That's those that have actually saved. You guys realize 75% of those 50 years old have less than $5,000 in their savings for. Do we have a problem? Do we have a problem?
Yes.
Do you walk around every day and see people who have this problem?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a solution? Do you have a solution? You guys, not only do you have a solution, you have a responsibility to share that. I apologize. I get a little emotional because you guys, there was a time in my life where I judged. I'd look at people and I'd say, I don't think they can do it. I look at how hard I work. I don't think they can do it. I don't want you to raise your hand, but I want you to answer that question. How many of you have done that? How many of you prejudge? And maybe because of your own limitations, you decide, I'm not going to share it this time because I don't think that I'd hate for them to spend money that they don't have on something that could quite possibly bless their life, change their health, and then change their financial future forever. I'm not going to share. We have a responsibility, okay? Because let me show you what happens, you guys, right now in America. Now, I'm running out of time, so I can't go through all the details, but there's a breakdown on it. 98% of everybody retiring today, right here, at age 65, 98% are dependent upon family, government, friends, or still working. There's a certain percentage of them are dead, so we're not counting them. 98%. So guys, this is really exciting. This American dream, guess what it's working for? 2%. You guys, when we come in and I sit down with somebody and I say, you know what, if I could show you a way, if it's just possible, if you could just sit with me for a moment and I could show you a way that you could retire. In 4 years. Would you be interested? Guess what? They think we're crazy. That's crazy. Working your whole life, 40 years, you guys, 40 years for a 2% chance of success? How many buy into that one? Woo! I didn't either. And I appreciate whoever wooed over there. That means you weren't listening. You guys, 2% chance. You have 2% chance of success. So, do we need to get a little more passionate about how we share this? Because they need it. Let me show you what this exact same thing looks like, this class, right? Because what do we do? In doTERRA, how do we find success? We go out and we do what? We invite, we teach, we follow up. It's that simple. Invite, teach, follow up. But Peggy Smith couldn't say it any better. What do? You invite, teach, you follow up. Right? If you invite, teach, and follow up, you earn $67.50 and you're excited, right? Woo! Guess what it looks like when you're building an asset? What happens when you enroll 3 people and those 3 people go out and they order again the next month? What happens? We get a check No. Somebody was whispering up here. You get a check for $50. How many have gotten a $50 Power 3? You know, do you guys realize, for those of you that were watching at home, almost every hand just went up. In fact, if I could see better, it probably is every hand, but I can only see the first few rows. $50 a month. What does that represent, you guys? That represents a tank of gas. No, it doesn't. What it represents, because you remember, this is an asset. How long do you get paid that $50? For as long as moms and dads, grandpas and grandmas love putting oils on babies. That is a long time. You're going to get this for a long time. So what does it look like? That's residual income. Are you going to get it every month? Yes. Let's multiply it by 12. Right? Same equation as above. You times it by 12, that's $600. Now that doesn't get us real jacked up, but that's $600 every year. Forever. Now, so what do? We've got to divide that. What is it worth, right? What kind of an asset do I have to have in the bank to create a $50 a month income? We'll divide it by 5%. Now, people home, you tell your husband, say, how much did you make today, sweetheart? I made 12 grand. What did you do? You guys, let me sink this in. That's what you just got paid on that class. Now, doTERRA didn't send you 12 grand. Wouldn't that be nice? No, they didn't. They don't quite have that level of trust with us, but what did they do? They literally, quite literally, if you would have gone out and worked somewhere else and deposited into your account, you would have had to grow that account to $12,000 at 5% interest to pay $50 a month. So if we think about it, over here in the effort, I just worked 6 hours, $67. Versus, as an asset, I just worked 6 hours for $12,000. How many of you are excited to go out and do some more classes? Yeah! Now let's go do some more classes, because when they're worth $12,000, it changes the motivation. It changes the way we view it. Because you guys in doTERRA, we are not hauling a bucket. We are building a pipeline that's going to pay us forever. So I'm going to skip to the chase a little bit. Because, oh my goodness, that thing says 0 all the way across. I apologize. I'm going to keep going. What happens when you hit gold? What's the average when you hit gold? Let me tell you this, you guys. This happens to me every time I sit down and I do a business presentation, a business overview with someone. And I flip it over to the back and I say, now these are all the ranks and these are the average incomes. How many people look at Presidential Diamond when I say, hey, what do you want to accomplish? In their mind. They all look at Presidential Diamond, but they do the same thing I did when I looked at that. But that's just monopoly money. That's not real. There's nobody that makes $100,000. I would ask the front row, is that real? Yeah. They laugh. It's not 100. No. No. You guys, it is real. I didn't believe it until I hit blue. And I hit blue and I look up and I go, all I got to do is one more rank and help my people that are already super motivated to get where they already want to be. I think I can do that. But in the beginning, you guys, how many of you looked at that and pointed at what? Gold. And why did we do that? Tony taught us before. Tony taught us. Belief. You guys, your people look at that. They believe they can hit $4,500. Why? Because that's what they're currently making. That's what they believe they're worth. And you have the audacity to come in and tell them, you're worth $100,000 a month. And they don't believe right away and we're shocked. So you guys work with them where they're at. Help them get to that belief. Because when they do, when they hit gold and their average, actually the average is higher, but I did this math a long time ago when the average was lower, and I'm kind of a simple mind. I memorized it, and now I don't dare change it because then I won't remember it again. So $4,500 is the average monthly income for a gold, right?
Right.
That's monthly times 12. What is that? Anybody? Yeah.
54.
Oh, you know what? I remember. You know what I remember? Because we just did it. I thought I forgot. You guys, $54,000 divided by 5%, that's $1,080,000. You realize you just created an asset. Now, how long would it take you to get to gold? That's a lot, man. That takes a long time. You know, there's guys that who is it stood up today? What was her name? Peters. How long did she do it? 2 months. How's that conversation look with her husband? Hey, babe, what'd you create over the last 2 months? I created $1 million. How'd you do? Now, her husband looked like a really nice guy, so I don't think I'd do that. Right? But you guys, that's what you literally do. Now, let's just say that we're not all as great as Ange. Let's just say that we're just average. What's average? And we showed us the other day, average is 27 months. So let's say it takes you just a little bit longer because the math is easier. Instead of 27, let's say you did it in 30. Do you guys realize that if it took you 30 months to build an asset worth $1 million, it is the same. Gotta get this, you guys. It is the same as if doTERRA had you gone out and worked a regular job for two and a half years, and doTERRA deposited into your account every month $36,000. Now, this is my question to all of you. How many of you are currently at your job that you're working right now are making $36,000 a month? How many? No woos. No woos. Then, might I submit that maybe this needs to become a little more serious? Because if I was to tell you, if I was to come and sit at your kitchen table and I was to guarantee you, all you have to do is do what you're doing at your job right now. Inviting people, right? Teaching people, and then following up. How many of you do that in your work right now? In one form or another? That's what we do. But instead, let's do it over here with you, for yourself. And I guarantee you I'll pay you $36,000 at the end of the month. How many of you would do it? And how many of you would take it real serious? You guys, that's the level of seriousness that you need to put into your business. Because that, you guys, I didn't make that up. Those are actual, real numbers. Those are averages for people who have actually, really done it. Now, let's just get really crazy. Let's just go hypothetical, right? Hypothetically. Let's say, hypothetically, you hit Blue Diamond. And instead of Blue, average is like $41,000 a month. Let's say you did it quickly. Like our friends that set 151 classes and did it, 7 or 8 months? I'm sorry, 5. Let's just say you weren't quite there. You're at $30,000 a month. Now, that's $30,000 every month. And I know you guys, I don't mean to be insulting here, but I want you to get the repetition of this. It's got to sink in. When it sinks in, you won't sleep. That's my goal. $30,000 a month times 12 is $360,000 a year. How many of you dreamed of making $360,000? You guys, what do we do? Because what's it worth? That's just the payout. That's the monthly payout. What's it worth? Well, divide it by 0.05%. What does that equal? $7.2 million. That's real money. Okay, now let's just say hypothetically, because let's put a number to it, right? It's hypothetically. Let's say you went out and you worked really hard. You didn't do it in 5 months because you're not Superman and Superwoman. Let's say it took you a little bit longer. Let's say you did it in, say, 3 years and 2 months. 3 years and 2 months. What's that? 38 months. Okay? Months. So let's say if you hypothetically did that, if you divide $7.2 million by 38 months, actually, I'm going to change this. And I apologize. Hopefully you guys took a picture because I'll rewrite it for you. It's 189,473. Why did I write that bigger? And why did I circle it? And why do I get so excited when I see that? You guys? That's our number. You want to know why I am so fucking excited about doTERRA? It's because I graduated a class of 12 people. I used to brag I was top 10 in the class. Then they find out there's 12. That's not so cool anymore. You guys, even someone who graduated top 10 in a class of 12 knows that there is nothing that I could have done that I can think of that is legal, ethical, and moral. Right? There are some things maybe, but legal, ethical, and moral that would pay me $189,000 a month. You guys, I'm just a simple guy from Idaho. Woo! $189,000 a month. That is why I'm so excited about what we have. And you guys, that's why I cannot walk past somebody that needs what we have and look at what I've been given. $189,000 a month into an account right here that grew to $7.2 million in 3 years. And not share it. You guys, the oils are amazing. Are they not? Yeah. The oils are amazing. The oils have changed my life. They've changed my life. You guys, guess what? The business opportunity? That's amazing too. It is amazing. And you can get excited about that. Because if you don't get excited about that, your exciter is broken. Right? That is amazing, you guys. There's nothing else I could have done. And I have a responsibility to share it with others. Now, I'm going to close with this. Because this is the thing, you guys. When it comes right down to it, people ask us, well, how do you keep doing it? Remember my goal? What was my goal? My goal was to make $2,000 a month. And I would be rolling. My wife and I, she's really good at spending. She's not that good. We don't use that. We save it. Where do we put it? We actually go and invest it in more real estate. But you guys, this is the powerful thing about it. We don't use it. Why do I still stand up here? Why do I come to these events? Why do I take 5 pages per speaker of notes? Why do I do it? This is my why. I do it because I have seen what people do with the money I have helped them create. I've seen what the company does with the money that we help them create. You guys, money's simply a magnifier. It magnifies who and what you are. If you're a bad person, you are really bad with money. If you're a good person, you are incredibly powerful for good with money. So my admonition to you, go out and teach this to somebody tonight. And then share the opportunity. Find good people and watch what they do with the money. Thank you.